Hello everyone, I'm Simon Buckmaster, Operations and Technical Manager for James Hardie Building Products. Today I'm joined by James Moore, our National Sales Manager for Hardie Panel. James, it's great to have you here. I think we all know that the construction industry is facing a complex and complicated time. What with the introduction of the Building Safety Act and the gateway system. James, you've been working with teams navigating these complexities and the requirements. Could you tell us what it's like on the ground at the minute for contractors, architects and developers?
Yeah, thanks, Simon. The reality is, really, there's very little room for error now. The Building Safety Act introduced critical steps for higher risk buildings, and compliance is mandatory, as it should be. What that means is that every choice made during the design and construction process has direct implications for safety, regulatory approval, and of course your project timeline. An example being delays at Gateway 2 are already becoming a major challenge. These delays are often caused by a combination of factors. There's the pressure on the building safety regulator, there's inconsistencies in submitted applications, and generally there's unfamiliarity across the board on this new regime. In some cases, this can add months to project timelines, increase costs, and even stall the remediation of unsafe cladding entirely.
That's a key point, James. And while it's daunting, it also highlights the importance of making informed decisions early. Today, we're going to cover 4 main areas in detail. First, we'll be navigating the fire safety complexities. Second, why specification decisions matter more than ever. Third will be sustainability considerations in cladding. And the fourth is going to be how modern cladding solutions can address skills shortages that we're currently facing in the UK. James, should we dive into the first topic, fire safety?
Yeah, absolutely, Simon. Fire safety is critical because it's both a regulatory requirement and really a practical necessity on site. It's one area where correct specification understanding of building regulations can make a real difference to the outcome.
So let's begin with compliance. The Building Safety Act enforces adherence to the building regulations, which were amended in 2018, and specifically Regulation 7.2, which bans the use of combustible materials in the external wall of high-rise buildings. James, for those who may not be familiar with the technical classifications, could you explain the differences between A2 and A1 in practical terms?
Yeah, of course. It's still an area that causes some degree of confusion. So A1 is fully non-combustible, so that means it won't ignite under any normal circumstances. And A2 is classified as limited combustibility, so it allows for a very small energy release under extreme conditions, but it's still considered really safe. Then we have the sub-classifications. S1 means there's very little smoke produced. D0 indicates that there's no flaming droplets or particles. So a fibre cement panel rated A2 S1 D0 really does provide a high level of safety for the building occupants and neighbouring properties alike. This is particularly critical in urban environments where buildings are often close together. Fire can spread between buildings very quickly if materials are not properly chosen.
And these regulations aren't just relevant to the tallest buildings. While high-risk buildings, or HRBs, are defined as 18 metres, 7 stories, or at least 2 residential units, additional safety measures also apply to buildings above 11 metres. James, what are the practical impacts does this have for architects and designers?
Yeah, it really is significant. Designers do need to think holistically. It's not just about the cladding material, but also about how walls interact with adjacent buildings and how fires might spread externally. The Building Safety Regulator requires a fire statement, evidence of compliance with Regulation 7, justification for the material choices, and a compartmentation strategy that considers nearby structures. But with products like an A2 fire-rated Hardie Panel, it really does simplify the process. They're approved to meet the necessary fire regulations and are suitable for a range of building heights and uses.
And fibre cement panels aren't just about compliance. They're also durable, versatile, and designed to be installed efficiently. Using these products means designers and contractors don't have to compromise with the aesthetics while still meeting the fire safety requirements.
Yeah, exactly, Simon. And in the current environment, technical support is really key, providing concise information for approvals, the documentation for the golden thread, and practical guidance on installation can prevent delays and reduce costly reworks. I mean, that's why it's really key that we specify the right product at the right time and work with the right manufacturers that have all these factors high on their agenda. So after that last point, Simon, let's take a real deep dive and talk about specification. I mean, the gateway system has changed the rules. Once a product is approved, it's essentially fixed. So what does that mean in practice?
It means there is very little room for adjustment once a product is approved. Previously, contractors might swap out products on site for alternatives that they're more familiar with. Now, doing this triggers the need for a reapproval, potentially delaying the project and risking compliance. This makes specification stage far more strategic. Every decision made here impacts safety, efficiency, cost, and aesthetics. This is particularly relevant for high-risk buildings. An A2 rated panel isn't optional, it's mandatory, and once approved, changing it is complex. So the right choice at specification stage avoids delays, ensures compliance, and protects everyone involved.
Yeah, and it really is about also balancing stakeholder needs, and those needs are varying. I mean, you take quantity surveyors, for example, they need budget control and compliance assurance. Contractors, they want products that are efficient and very easy to install. And clients want durability, aesthetics, and low maintenance. And that's why it's important that you specify the right material. And something like Hardie Panel does deliver all of these, from long-lasting finishes to installation efficiency, with all the robust technical documentation to support the approvals that you need.
Technical support from a manufacturer is also crucial. Our team can advise on system detailing, fire safety, material suitability at the specification stage. We provide toolbox talks, site visits, and practical guidance to ensure that the correct installation is done, which reduces rework and keeps the project on schedule.
So we've discussed fire regulations and specification, but there's also another key factor in material choice we need to discuss, and that's sustainability. How do fibre cement products like Hardie Panel support this?
Fibre cement panels come with an Environmental Product Declaration, or EPDs, which provide verified data on materials' environmental impact from production to its end of life. For example, our 8mm Hardie Panel has a global warming potential of 10.1 kg of CO2 per panel, the lowest amongst A2 rated materials. This transparency allows architects and developers to make informed, environmentally responsible choices without compromising fire safety or its durability.
I mean, that's really great to hear. Obviously, that Hardie Panel has the lowest global warming potential amongst all the rest of the A2 fire-rated fibre cement panels in the market. But how does it compare to timber?
Timber is renewable, but requires ongoing maintenance, painting or sealing, which can release VOCs into the environment. Fibre cement is low maintenance, dimensionally stable, resistant to rot, and, as we've mentioned, fire resistant. Over its lifetime, this reduces replacements, waste, and environmental impact, helping future-proof buildings. James, finally, the industry is facing significant shortages with labour. How can cladding specification help mitigate that?
I mean, it's important in the industry we look towards modern methods of construction, and using a pre-finished fibre cement panel really reduces reliance on trades like things like bricklaying, which require really highly trained specialists and very time consuming. Hardie Panel is lightweight, consistent, and it's designed for fast installation. That really allows teams of installers to be upskilled a lot quicker. This also eases pressure on the workforce and maintains quality and compliance.
And with the Building Safety Act, installation compliance is essential. That's why our support includes technical guidance, on-site training, toolbox talks, and live visits. This ensures safe, efficient, and compliant installations.
Yeah, I mean, the takeaway is really simple. You have to have informed decisions at the design stage and be supported by your manufacturer. Get some manufacturer guidance. It will really help your projects run faster, safer, and you'll have a lot less surprises.
To conclude, fire safety, specification, sustainability, and skill solutions are all interconnected. Early staged informed decisions protect timelines, reduce risk, and ensure safer, higher quality buildings. By thinking holistically from the onset, project teams can achieve smoother approvals, better on-site efficiency, and longer-lasting, more resilient developments. We hope today's session has provided clarity and practical guidance that you can take straight away for your projects. It's important to remember that while regulations may feel complex, the right products, supported by manufacturers' guidance, make compliance much more achievable. James, any thoughts for our audience before we close?
Yeah, thanks, Simon. I mean, I just really like to emphasise that while the industry faces challenges currently, whether that ranges from fire safety compliance, labour shortages, or meeting sustainability targets, the modern cladding solutions really do give your teams the tools to meet those challenges effectively. An A2 fire-rated fibre cement panel, for example, it not only satisfies regulatory requirements, but also really streamlines your installation, reduces maintenance, and provides environmental benefits. The key message I'd really leave everyone with is this: you have to invest the time and thought at the specification and design stage. Work with trusted manufacturers who can support you through approvals and on-site guidance. Doing that will ensure that your projects are safer, more efficient, and more sustainable. Ultimately, it will become more successful for everyone involved.
We've had some questions in from our audience, which we're going to run through now. The first one here is from Luke, an architect based in Leeds. How can architects balance aesthetics with compliance in a facade design?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And the reason why it is because there seems to be a common misconception that you can't achieve your creative expression whilst also being compliant to all the regulatory requirements. And that's really not the case if you're using the right cladding solution and the right manufacturer. I mean, take us for example, Hardie Panel. So as you know, as we discussed today, we meet all the regulatory requirements, but we also offer a wide range of different textures, colours and finishes. So you can achieve your creative expression within your project. You can really achieve those aesthetic goals that you're going for, whilst being safe in the knowledge that you are achieving the regulatory requirements. So it really is, you know, when you ask that question, the easy answer is to say, you know, how do architects balance aesthetics with compliance in facade design? Well, it's not about balancing it. If you use the right manufacturer and the right material, it comes hand in hand. And I know we haven't really discussed it much today in terms of regulatory requirements. We've been focused more on sustainability and fire, which is very important. But, you know, there are other aspects of regulatory requirements that come up, such as impact and things like that. And I bring that up because, you know, we had a large demand as we took Hardie Panel into the market for a category 1 impact, especially within education projects, and also combining that with aesthetics as well. So we invested a lot in terms of research and development, came out with an 11mm Hardie panel, and we released that across all wide range of our textures and colours. And that 11mm panel achieves a category 1 impact. And that just shows where it's important to us that not only are you meeting all your regulatory requirements, but you're also able to have that creative expression and still use. So you're not limited when it comes to that. And that, you know, that all just comes down to making sure you're working with the right manufacturer and on the right product at all times. One for you, Simon, actually. So I've got Adrian, a cladding contractor based down in London. He's asking, are there any common misconceptions about fibre cement cladding?
Yes, there are. Some assume that fibre cement cladding is heavy and difficult to install, but modern fibre cement is lightweight, designed for ease of use and handling. The other thing that people sort of sometimes misconstrue is the fact that it limits the amount of design options, but it's just not the case. Products like Hardie Panel come in a wide range of colours, different finishes, can be cut into different shapes, and are strong, aesthetic and versatile. So we've got another question here we're just going to run through. Let's see, so this is from Jenny, an architect based in Manchester. What support is available to architects when specifying fibre cement? Yeah,
so there's a lot of support out there, and one of the things I would really like to emphasise is early engagement with the Hardie Panel team. I mean, that really will help ensure compliance and streamline all of your approval process. We offer a number of different tools and technical support to do this. We offer CPDs, which will obviously boost your knowledge around the material that you're specifying. Number of different specification tools like a project pack, so you can be ensured that you're able to meet the golden thread with all the different design and everything like that. And we have a technical team that will come to site, offer training to installers. So at every stage, we offer a level of support that will help you be really positive that your project is going to go very well, and you will be supported throughout. But yeah, please do just make sure early engagement is real key there. Steve, a quantity surveyor Cardiff, he's asking that how does fibre cement perform in terms of durability and maintenance?
It's a good question. Fibre cement is highly resistant to weather, UV, pest and rot. It requires minimal maintenance over its lifespan, making it a cost-effective solution for long-term performance, especially in harsh coastal environments.
And I suppose to end, because we have talked a lot about Hardie Panel today, because obviously that's been a focus around it in cladding, but we haven't really talked about the other products that we offer in James Hardie. So I'll just go over that a little bit now. So we do offer a number of different cladding solutions, not just Hardie Panel and a large format cladding solution. We offer our Hardie Plank in VL, which is a timber effect weatherboard, which is really great and offers the same regulatory benefits and the same maintenance and everything that we've gone over today. But also what you might know is, we do a lot of exterior solutions, but we also offer interior solutions as well in the form of our Thermacell, which is a fibre gypsum building board. And that in itself, we are also, it meets everything we've practically talked today in terms of all the regulatory requirements with fire rating, excellent when it comes to sustainability. So yeah, we do have solutions from exterior to interior throughout. So I wanted to highlight that because we can offer solutions throughout your project build. We have done projects where we are working with people on the interiors and the exteriors as well. So if you have something like that, like a project that is of interest, you can pretty much box it off all with one manufacturer in the form of James Hardie. So please do reach out to us.
Thank you all and best of luck with your projects.